That happens. I'm okay with being
a funny
laughed at.
guy.
You are a funny guy.
That's right.
We're being pointed at. I guess that means we have started. Good afternoon, everybody. And I guess technically it is a few seconds afternoon, so that counts.
Well, maybe an hour afternoon in some parts of the country.
That's true. Or
And
an
not
hour
even
before
noon.
then.
Boy, you guys out there in the Colorado. Hey, where are you? Are you California, Colorado, East Coast, Central? See?
Mumble, mumble, mumble. So what I'm really talking about here, right here in my hands, in my lap, is a guitar that I had made for me by a guy named Bill Collins, world famous luthier. He makes great instruments. This was his first electric excursion and maybe the only Telecaster shaped guitar that Bill ever built. I love this guitar.
There was a reason it was retired. The idea was to make this out of cocobolo wood, which is, I believe, the heaviest wood on the planet. So this weighs like, I mean, you really, if you had cement guitars, it wouldn't weigh as much as this. This is more like a cement guitar.
It's a heavy guitar. And, you know, in those days, the weight just bounced off my shoulders. No
Now
problem.
it's a sit-down guitar,
No,
but
it's
it
sit down.
sounds great.
Let's play some music.
Okay.
3, 4, 5, 6. Coming home late from work, standing outside in the dark, it's 3 o'clock, and I'm fumbling for my keys. How to fix that front porch light? Maybe tomorrow I'll remember, then I laugh when I remember that I won't. Maybe it's wasting time, the way I'm spending mine. Guess I should get something done. While everyone's asleep, I claim that time for me, and it's too dark to be mowing that lawn. Picking up pork chop bones left on the floor by my pet dog, mumbling to myself. And take a look in the fridge, grab some Tostitos and pecane sauce, and I'm headed for my chair. Maybe it's wasting time, the way I'm spending mine. Yes, I should get something done. While everyone's asleep, I claim that time for me, and it's too dark to be mowing that lawn. Enough of that TV, Jones, turn it off and crawl into bed with my dead wife, fumbling with my sheets. Turn out the light, turn over and pick out my cat. It's a Sleepytime Cartoon. Maybe it's wasting time, the way I'm spending mine. Guess I should get something done. While everyone's asleep, I claim that time for me, and it's too dark to be mowing that lawn. So we're coming up on 50 years of playing music together. Keith and I met in Houston back in 1976, and it's almost the same date. It was June in 76 when we met. Keith was sort of a mystery to me. He played with the Houston Symphony Orchestra and was an educated musician. He had a degree in music, and he liked our band enough to sit in and offer to sit in for our bass player who left the band, St. Elmo's Fire, for just a little while. And when I first met him, he came over to rehearse. It was raining outside. It was flooding. He came in to rehearse, and Then we got done rehearsing. It was a wonderful rehearsal. He just sort of picked up the music quickly and easily, and I mean, he'd listened to us a bunch. And then I walked him out to his car, and his car was flooded on the floorboards. And when he opened the door to put his gear back in the car, the water came rushing out, and it was full of like McDonald's or maybe Jack in the Box. I don't know where these bags of food that had been in the car for a long time. And it just all floated out of the car. And I thought, that's my guy. That is my guy. He knows how to keep house.
Yeah, those were the days, man. I remember pretty much living out of the car. I played so many different kinds of shows back in those days. I was playing with the orchestra where you'd wear tuxedos, and I started sitting in and playing with bands like this St. Elmo's Fire Bunch, where I didn't even wear shoes when I played with those guys. But everything in between, you know, we played a lot of different kind of stuff. As that first song we played, Sleepytime Cartoon, I keep thinking about that. I cannot imagine how many shows we opened playing that song. It's just like a call to arms. It's just friendly, just introduces ourselves and who we are and all that.
These big chords, they just rings.
But there's an attitude in the whole song that it's just, I don't know.
Fun.
It gets you in the right mood. That fun. We sound checked with that song too. So we played that. If we can't play that song, Billy, I think that's the last song I will forget. I've forgotten a lot of songs, but that is probably the last one I will forget. Unlike this next one.
He's got words written up there. He will not forget these words. But we tried this last week, and Keith coughed through the whole song.
I was just recovering from some kind of
bronchitis,
whatever it is. Some kind of itis. You can't tell these days. There's so many.
I believe his words were, I want a do-over.
I do. I want a do-over. We're practicing this song because we are going to be playing at Summerfolk in Ontario this coming summer, and it'll be in August.
It's a festival. It's a Canadian music festival that goes on for 3 days.
And they have workshops. I have no idea what they're going to throw at us this year. But every time you go there, you're going to get these assignments for these workshops. This one year we went, it was 2005, they assigned us, we picked a name out of a hat, and this thing said Chi-Cheemaun. And it turns out, we didn't know what a Chi-Cheemaun was, but the Chi-Cheemaun is a ferry. It goes over to Manitoulin Island.
Yes.
Yeah, and so we had to write a song about that, and we did, and we're going to play it for you now.
3, 4.
Baby, there's a hard times, we gotta get away. Never have the money, not a penny saved. You know, I always promised I would take you on a cruise. Better pack your bags, dear, that's what I'm gonna do. We're going to an island, I'll take you where the sweet grass grows. Walk along the beach and get some sand between our toes. Going to an island, cheaper than a ball game and a beer. Man, to the island, yeah, let's get away from here. We'll head on to the Chi-Cheemaun, the big canoe will open wide. Drive on to the Chi-Cheemaun, take the ferry for a ride. Have a Toblerone tub, share a hot dog on the deck. The vacation of a lifetime, one we never will forget. We're going to an island, I'll take you where the sweet grass grows. Walk along the beach and we'll get some sand between our toes. Going to an island, cheaper than a ball game and a beer. Man, to the island, well, let's get away from here. We'll head on to the Chi-Cheemaun. Got it. Yeah, we're tired of playing Pokemon. Gotta get away from here. Go ahead on to the Chi-Cheemaun, Chi-Cheemaun. Time for us to have some fun. There's nothing Pokemon. Let's get away from here.
Man, sometimes when we're playing music, we have set lists, and Keith will write it down. Okay, keep looking. I've been told to look at the camera. Keith will write down the set list in his impeccable handwriting. And being 6'8" tall, I look down there and I cannot read it. He's got this Chi-Cheemaun here typed up perfectly, beautifully. He's looking at it and he can't read it. That's what happens when you get old.
Oh, it's sad. Sad. So, 50 years coming up for trout fishing in America. We're at 49 right now.
So, somewhere in the early part of trout fishing in America, maybe the first third of trout fishing in America. What? I know what I'm going to say.
I know. I'm already going to correct whatever you're going to say.
First third of trout fishing in America. My math is awesome. You'll probably know that about
Always.
me. My math skills are incredible. We were playing the East Coast. We had told our manager then that we wanted to play the East Coast. And we were going up and down the East Coast. It was happening. We had played New York City. And then we went from New York to Pennsylvania, to Philadelphia. We drove from New York to Philadelphia through some really tough neighborhoods to get to the bar that we were going to play. And this bar, called the North Star Bar, great bar, really great bar. When you parked there, you would tip the guy that was guarding your cars. He would stand outside of a 55-gallon oil drum that was burning. It was cold weather out there, and you tip him, and he'd make sure that nobody messed with your car. That was the job that we were playing. We were playing those kinds of jobs. And then our manager told us, we got to do a radio interview. Sure, we'll do a radio interview with a children's music person. Huh?
I was skeptical. To say the least. I'm like, are you kidding me? Radio shows for kids? And why they were asking us to do this was because we had earlier, during the really early part of trout fishing in America, decided to play music for anyone, everyone, kids, adults, rich, poor, we didn't care. We would play for anyone that had a pulse.
Why would we do that?
Money.
We were broke.
We were broke. You know, that's one thing about it. But at the same time, that had such a development on us. We started playing songs. We'd go into schools and we'd go into libraries and we'd play songs for kids and adults, whatever. But we went into this library in Houston, Texas. And after the show, we didn't know any kid songs, by the way, at this point. We played Beatles songs and stuff like that. But there was a librarian that approached me and said, here's a book. I think it's called the Silly Song Book. And she says, no one ever checks this out, but I think it's got some good stuff in it. So I looked at it, and this librarian just randomly handed me that book. I checked it out. And that song became really, really important to us. It changed the whole perspective, changed the whole direction.
So back to where I was, and that's a really good side trip. We had released a children's cassette.
That's right.
We had released a children's cassette, and that had found its way to WXPN Radio and Kathy O'Connell's radio show, Kids Corner. She loved it, and she wanted to get an interview with us. So, fine. We do an interview. So Keith had skepticism to begin with. Then we started climbing the 3 flights of stairs up to her radio station control room. That was a long hike. Keith was hauling an upright bass up 3 stairs, just shaking his head. No, this is awful. This is terrible. We were tired, and we were going up there. And at the top of the stairs was Kathy O'Connell, and she has become a dear, dear, dear friend, and is one of the sharpest minds in kids' music, period. Anyway, she heard our album somehow. I guess my wife, Karen, sent her a copy of the album, and she liked it, and she wanted an interview, by God, and so we did. But this song that Keith is talking about, we learned from the Silly Songbook. Now, I could never have learned it because it was words under a bunch of notes, which I never would have gotten.
I understood that sort of thing, so...
What kind of song is it, Keith?
It's a polka!
Ooh, not just any polka, but a nursery rhyme polka.
That's right. Georgie, Georgie, wouldn't it cry? Kiss the girls who made him cry. When the boys came out to play,
You threw him out the window, the window, the window. They threw him out the window. And when the boys came out to play, they threw him out the window.
Okay, now it's your turn, Ezra.
Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men.
They threw him out the window,
the window, the window. They threw him out the window. All the king's horses and all the king's men. They threw him out the window. At this point in the song, we need somebody with a very loud voice or quick typewriter hands to request your favorite nursery rhyme. Susan, have any nursery rhymes appeared on the screen yet?
Not yet. But
Peter coming up.
Peter, Peter, pumpkin eater, had a wife and couldn't feed her, put her in a pumpkin shell, threw her out the window, the window, the window. He threw her out the window, he put her in a pumpkin shell and threw her out the window.
Anybody quick enough to type in a request? Yes, Susan.
Georgie Porgy.
Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, kissed the girls and made them cry. When the boys came out to play, threw him out the window, the window, the window. They threw him out the window. And when the boys came out to play, they threw him out the window.
Let's give somebody else a chance.
Old Mother Hubbard.
Oh, Mother Hubbard, she went in the cupboard to get her poor doggy a bone. But when she bent over, the doggy took over and
Threw her out the window, the window, the window. They threw her out the window.
And when she bent over, the doggy took over and
Threw her out the
This is
window.
one that we made up specially for Kathy O'Connell.
Kathy O'Connell, Kathy O'Connell, Kathy O'Connell, Kathy O'Connell, Kathy O'Connell, Kathy O'Connell. Throw her out the window, the window, the window. Throw her out the window. Kathy O'Connell, Kathy O'Connell, throw her out the window. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, Jack jumped over the candlestick.
That's all there is. So we
Threw him out the window, the window, the window. We threw him out the window.
That's all there is. So we threw him out the window.
Keith,
What?
I'm getting depressed.
Why?
I'm getting really bummed out, man.
Why?
Why don't you ask me why?
Why?
Because as I look at this audience, all I see is a stupid camera.
I like playing live shows, don't you?
Now I don't see not one request for Little Bunny Foo Foo, and you're totally bumming me out, man.
I bet there's little bunny foo foo rabbit ears talk all over the screen, Ezra. Here we go.
Oh look, there it is.
Little buddy foo foo hopping through the forest, scooping up the field mice and throwing them out the window, the window, the window, throwing them out the window, scooping up the field mice and throwing them out the window. It's story time. Hey there, little Red Riding Hood, you sure are looking good. You're everything a big bad wolf. Throw him out the window, the window, the window. Throw him out the window. You're everything a big bad wolf. Throw him out the window.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
Moms, dads, brothers, cousins, sisters, uncles, nieces, nephews, and anybody out there with the courage and fashion sense to be wearing Pac-Man socks today with a sense of pride and accomplishment.
Anyway, we're going to attempt something incredibly difficult. We're going to sing two nursery rhymes at the same time a cappella, forcing you to use both halves of your brain at the same time a cappella.
Ezra, what is a cappella?
What is it?
Thought you'd never ask.
What is it?
It's a small town in northern Italy where they play no musical instruments. They sit around all day long, singing unaccompanied, watching reruns of Gunsmoke. Two of those words are honestly true. The rest of them is just total, whatever.
Anyway, I'm going to be singing Rub-a-dub-dub at 3 Men in a Tub, while he will be singing
Stairway to Heaven, a massively popular and yet often overlooked nursery rhyme from the 1970s.
Okay, so count it off.
One. No. This is my part of the show, and what I call dramatic. Pause. 1, 2, 3.
There's a lady that shows all that glitters is gold. She's buying a stairway, throwing out the window, the window, the window, throwing out the window. She's buying a stairway, throwing out the window.
Kid shows. When we first started doing kid shows, we had to practice over and over. we had sort of a kids repertoire that would come up in our regular bar shows. Like we would do the window in a bar show.
Okay, I'm just going to get into that.
Do.
See, we would play these songs these adult songs for kids, like the Beatles and stuff. But while we were there with the kids, we kept learning from them. We learned what they liked, and we learned songs, and we started writing songs. We started paying attention to them, because you pay attention to your audience. Well, we kept bringing that back to
our bar shows.
The bar shows. Now, you wonder, you say, I know the Silly Songbook did not have Stairway to Heaven in it. That came from the bar shows. We would yell to the guys, we would talk to the guys at the bar and say, hey, you've recommended some songs, requested, and people would start yelling out, I remember
Freebird.
Freebird! I remember Wayne Fontana and the Mindbenders.
Oh my gosh.
Purpose of a man is to love a woman, and the purpose of a woman is to throw it out the window.
Yep.
Yeah, really. So that happened. That came from bar shows, and the songs developed.
We had to practice though. We did not have an extensive kids repertoire, and the window came up. We would do Five Little Ducks at a bar show.
But we're never going to do that again. But Ezra, think about that. We defined the audience that we wanted to play for, and they defined who we became. Back and forth. It's really, I swear, you listen to your audience, you write, like with adults, the songs we write, they're real. I mean, we take our examples from everyday life, things. This next song we're going to play.
Yes, indeed.
It came from, we were on the verge of massive success. Well, no, actually, it wasn't. This might be one of the not so real one.
Actually, I know where it came from. We were in Shreveport, Louisiana, staying at a really weird place. It was sort of a retirement community in a hotel.
The Mid-City Motor Hotel.
Yes, that's
some
what
things
it
you
was.
can't forget.
And I had played these chords for Keith for, sound check for a bunch of times. And finally, Keith was just waiting for me downstairs in the lobby, and he was tired of waiting, and he'd heard some country music. And he thought, man, I know what exactly to write that song about.
These guys were singing about when everything happened terrible, that they'd still be loving people. I thought, well, here we go.
That's easy, but what if things go right? If the mountains never crumble and the rivers don't run dry, the oceans keep on pounding, the sun stays in the sky, if apples keep on falling and 3 and 2 is 5, I'll still be loving you no matter what goes right. If the world keeps on turning and snow keeps falling white, fire keeps on burning and daylight follows every night, flowers bloom in springtime and birds remember how to fly, I'll still be loving you no matter what goes right. No matter what goes right, I will still be loving you. No matter what goes right, I will stand by you. And when couples fight their troubles, it unites their hearts. When the good times roll, they can drift apart. I'll still be loving you, no matter what goes right. When all this work is over and my ship comes sailing in, you'll always be my lover, you'll always be my friend. If the stars up in the heavens keep on shining clear and bright, I'll still be loving you no matter what goes right. matter what goes right, I will still be loving you. No matter what goes right, I will stand by you. And when couples fight their troubles, it unites their hearts. When the good times roll, they can drift apart. I'll still be loving you, no matter what goes right. Troubles it unites their hearts. When the good times roll, they can drift apart. I'll still be loving you, no matter what goes right. I'll still be loving you, no matter what goes right.
I remember the walls in that hotel, they were two-tone. Remember old government buildings, and hospitals, and classrooms and stuff? They always had two-tone walls where one color up to here and then another color up there.
Sort of like, we would, no, what do they call it? There's a name for that thing that goes halfway up. No.
Cormorant.
What's it called? I don't remember.
Or wainscoting?
Wainscoting. Thank you, Susan.
Wainscoting?
Wainscoting, yes. So let's look here. We got Ruth King says, I remember one chilly summer, folk, and Keith did not have warm clothes. Back in Robert Redford days, back before Stretch, Robert Redford was our truck, our Ford pickup truck that had over 500,000 miles on it when we finally retired it. Somewhere around 400,000, I wanted to drive to Alaska. I thought Ford Motor Company would probably sponsor a trip for us to go to Alaska. I mean, that's a lot of miles to have on a truck, especially back then. And I wanted to go to Alaska, but Ford did not bite. They were not interested in sponsoring a trip to Alaska or doing a commercial with trout fishing in America. Their loss. They could have had it. See, Little Bunny Foo Foo. I saw that. I saw the ears up. That's good.
Well, I just start reading, Fran says my husband and I love this song no matter what goes right. We had it on our wedding reception playlist 25 years ago. Kathy Lindsay, our artist friend out in New Mexico.
Boy, she is an amazing artist.
Kathy Lindsay, check her out. Good stuff. John West, hello from Cedar Rapids.
What the heck is he doing in Cedar Rapids?
I don't know.
What are you doing up there, John?
These guys have gone wild ever since DeLynn retired. They're just all over the country. So they've just completely gone. They were always like that. Yeah. They came to see us in Las Vegas one time.
No joke.
Remember that?
Las Vegas. Slowly I turned.
For the
step by step, inch by inch.
It's so weird with this career of ours. We started this traveling thing. We've always, traveled all over the place. Whenever in the early days, we traveled in a smaller area. Then it kind of got bigger and bigger, and we started traveling everywhere. But we started not recognizing people because they would show up in places they didn't belong. When you show up in Canada, and I last saw you in Florida, it's
confusing.
It's confusing. I wanted name tags. I still want name tags. We all need name tags.
But then don't you get embarrassed when you run into
Well,
somebody,
if I had a name like yours, I'd be embarrassed.
no, but somebody that you should know, and you can't come up with their name, you gotta look at the name tag surreptitiously to make sure they don't see that you don't remember their name. That happens to me. I get embarrassed.
Yeah, I remember that, and I said, "Mom." Oh, no, not really. Okay.
So when Keith and I first met, we were playing in a band called St. Elmo's Fire in Houston, Texas. And the two of the other members of St. Elmo's Fire, Craig Calvert and Connie Mims, helped us write this song. Keith had an idea on piano that he was playing here at the house. And from there, we took it down to Tyler, Texas, where Connie lives. And we started working on this song and came up with it. It's a song about one of my least favorite subjects, which is downsizing. I don't know how many of you out there have had to downsize in your life, but I get attached to my stuff. I know Keith does too. He's got tons of stuff everywhere. What did you just do?
He dropped his phone.
I dropped the phone. You know, I could drop the microphone. I got some stuff. Yeah.
Shall we?
Yeah.
And I will not trade it for silver. And I would not trade for more time. And I don't know how to arrange them, but all of these boxes are mine. It's here in a box, everything that I want to remember. Just because I can't find it, that doesn't mean that it's lost. Here in a box, broken pieces that must belong somewhere. Probably worthless and anyone else would have tossed. And I will not trade it for silver, and I would not trade for more time, and I don't know how to arrange them, but all of these boxes are mine. Here in a box are the pictures of people I've carried. Through my ups and my downs, they were always a part of my life. I have boxes of books and real life handwritten letters. So good to remember, and old friends' forgotten advice. And I will not trade it for silver, and I would not trade for more time. And I don't know how to arrange them, but all of these boxes are mine. I will not surrender. They're hard to remember for reasons I just can't explain. Here in a box are the stories that help me remember. When I find myself lost and I feel myself slipping away, and I will not trade it for silver, and I would not trade for more time, and I don't know how to arrange them, but all of these boxes are mine. And I will not trade it for silver, and I would not trade for more time, and I don't know how to arrange them, but all of these boxes are mine.
boxes. Man, I got a lot of boxes at my house. Sometimes when I get bored, I just go find a box and open it. And just go through it and see what is there. Man, I found a box with a bunch of my old notebooks from days when I was really concentrating and writing lyrics and stuff. Man, I swear, it's like the 500 monkeys typing, you know? There's a lot of crap in there. I go, oh my goodness, oh, this is terrible, terrible, terrible. And then I see where an idea starts. And it's kind of cool sometimes when you find little gems hidden in the mess.
What I've got these days are not notebooks. Because there never was one to write down in notebooks. But what I've got is my iPhone. And it is, what is it called? Where you can record. I have got about 50 or 60 songs started to record. Some of them are good, some of them are really bad. But I record them. What are you digging for there?
I'm digging because people are starting to ask, when are you guys going to leave your house and get back out here and do some stuff? Well, we're going to start doing that in July. We're going to be at State College on July the 12th.
Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Then we'll be in Bryn Mawr at the Twilight Concerts.
Pennsylvania.
And then up in New York at Mohawk.
Catskills.
No, New York.
This is the Catskills.
And then the next month, of course, I've been talking about, we're going to be at Summer Folk, which is on Owen Sound, Ontario. That's going to be cool. On the way up, we're going to stop in Ann Arbor, Michigan, and play the Ark. Hadn't been to the Ark in a while. Hi, if you're in Michigan.
Come on out.
We're on our way. Well, not right away, but pretty soon.
So when we played bar shows, there was a lot of different iterations of Trout. We started out doing pretty much what you see right here. You know, just two of us playing, and we would play at Steak and Ales, and we would play at a place called Lovejoy's in Houston, and just small, you know, kind of intimate bars, and we would play. Then we got excited because we were making money. We were starting to make money again. It took us a while, and we hired a keyboard player, and we hired a drummer. And the band got bigger and more exciting. We started playing louder music, and we had a friend that would bring us tapes of blues music. He felt we needed to go towards a blues direction. He brought us cassette tapes of blues songs. And I believe this last song that we're going to do came from one of those tapes.
You know, it's a mystery to me. Ezra asked me where the song came from, and that's as good a guess as I have. Right there.
I mean, you probably have been to a Trout show or two, and I'll bet you never heard us play this song at a Trout show.
But see, in the old days, we'd sometimes play dances where everybody would dance to every song, and so we'd have to play dance music. And like I said, you know, when you show up in places that you're not supposed to be or somewhere different, people would come from a listening room area and come hear us in Corpus Christi, where we'd be playing dance clubs, and they would be confused. And people would come from Corpus Christi or something and come to Houston listening rooms, and they would be confused because they couldn't dance. And people would come to shows and they'd be confused because they were playing songs for kids.
You were talking earlier about how the audience kind of defines you, sets your parameters for what you play on stage, and it's true. What I love about what we're doing right now is the fact that everybody comes. Kids, parents, grandparents, they all come, and we're given the freedom and the ability to play songs from any kind of genre that we want, and that rocks.
Yeah, we're still getting away with it.
That's right.
It's great. Hey, let's play some blues and take this out. Once again, thank you, Susan. Susan doing a fine job over here on the camera and keeping us in line.
And thank you all for taking your time out of your day to listen to Trout in lunch time.
Lunch with Trout.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I come home this morning, oh, what a shock. I found out my keys no longer fit the lock. She said, oh, baby, you can go back where you've been. was stepping out while someone else was stepping in. Then she said I was a fool. You thought you could count on someone who's at home when ain't nobody else around. She said, oh baby, remember how you treated me mean. And while you were stepping out, now someone else was stepping in. Now cry your heart out, but you won't get close to me. She said, I'm a brand new woman now. Honey, any fool could see. Got a new way of walking that's been long overdue. I'm broken hearted, I'm empty, but I'm finally over you. Got a new way to wear my hair. I got a smile on my face, and you didn't put it there. She said, oh baby, I done found myself a brand new friend. Cause while you were stepping out, now someone else was stepping in. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for playing music.
See you next week.
Yeah, we got another one next week. Next Thursday. Lunch with Trout. Be there.